Here he comes.
Well, we've warned you.
The Frankenstein movies made between 1931 and 1939 are some of the most famous horror films ever created. But what happened behind the camera was often stranger than the story on screen. Here are 10 weird facts you probably didn't know. Oh, and did you know that Boris Karloff actually preferred playing a different iconic monster? Stay for the bonus and learn about the role he found far less painful and far more satisfying.
Are you saying that I put an abnormal brain into a 7.5-foot long gorilla?
Number 1. Boris Karloff, whose real name was William Henry Pratt, was initially uncredited to heighten the mystery. Early advertising materials listed the monster as portrayed by a question mark rather than naming the actor. Universal believed anonymity would make the creature feel less human and more terrifying. Karloff only received proper billing after the film's success.
Yes. Go. You live. Go. You stay. We belong dead.
Number 2. The monster's flat head was designed to suggest crude surgery, not a natural skull shape. Makeup artist Jack Pierce intentionally squared off the top of the monster's head to imply that the skull had been opened and resealed. The flat surface visually suggested a surgical access point where the brain was inserted. This design reinforced the idea that the monster was assembled through rough, experimental medical procedures.
You discovered the power to create new life, and you created a guy?
Number 3. The heavy boots worn by Karloff caused lasting physical injury. Each boot weighed more than 11 pounds and raised him several inches off the ground. Walking and standing in them forced Karloff into an unnatural, stiff gait that placed constant strain on his spine and legs. He later acknowledged that the role of Frankenstein's monster contributed to chronic back pain that followed him for the rest of his life.
Will you play with me? Would you like one of my flowers?
Number 4. The electrical lab equipment was genuinely hazardous. Although the laboratory machines were designed as theatrical props, many of them produced real electrical sparks, intense heat, and open flame effects using exposed wiring and arc mechanisms. Actors often worked only inches away from these effects while wearing heavy costumes that restricted vision and movement. Precise blocking was essential to avoid burns or electrical shocks, and mistakes could be dangerous. Number 5. The monster was always intended to be mostly mute. Universal feared Karloff's British accent would break the illusion. Silence made the creature more alien and tragic. This decision became one of the film's most effective elements. Number 6. The Frankenstein makeup process was grueling largely because of makeup artist Jack Pierce's methods. Pierce was known for working slowly, obsessively, and almost entirely by himself. He rejected newer foam and appliance techniques and instead built the monster's face layer by layer using cotton, putty, and grease paint directly on Karloff's skin. This approach produced striking realism on camera, but it required Karloff to endure 4 or more hours in the chair each day.
Your very good friend, Jack Pierce. Wonderful to see. The best makeup man in the world.
Number 7. In Bride of Frankenstein, giving the monster the ability to speak was highly controversial. Director James Whale believed that limited speech would deepen the monster's tragedy and make him more human. Universal executives worried that hearing the monster talk would make him less frightening and even unintentionally comic. The compromise resulted in simple, childlike dialogue that reflected the monster's arrested emotional development.
Woman, yes, I want friend like me.
Number 8. Boris Karloff received no residuals or long-term compensation from the Frankenstein films. Like most actors in the early studio era, Boris Karloff was paid a flat fee with no profit participation or reuse rights. When Universal re-released the films, licensed stills, and later built an entire merchandise empire around the monster, none of that income went to him. Number 9. Bela Lugosi's Igor unexpectedly overshadowed the monster in Son of Frankenstein. By 1939, Lugosi was struggling to revive his career after Dracula, and Igor gave him a rare scene-stealing role. His exaggerated, grotesque performance contrasted sharply with the monster's limited movement. Test audiences responded so strongly that Igor became the emotional center of the film.
Yes, the other 6 are all dead.
They die dead. I die live.
Number 10. The famous neck bolts were intended as electrical conduits. Pierce imagined them as attachment points for electrodes used in reanimation. Though medically nonsensical, they visually reinforced the electricity theme. Their striking look mattered more than realism.
You must be Igor.
No, it's pronounced Igor.
But they told me it was Igor.
Well, they were wrong then, weren't they?
Now for a bonus. Boris Karloff personally preferred his role in The Mummy over Frankenstein. Unlike the monster, the role of Imhotep required far less physically punishing makeup and restrictive costuming. Karloff was able to rely more on subtle facial expression, posture, and voice rather than brute physical endurance. He later said that The Mummy allowed him to act, while Frankenstein often felt like a test of how much pain his body could tolerate.